Have you ever found yourself stuck in a job that feels soul draining? What if I told you it's possible to absolutely love your career even if it doesn't feel that way right now? I'm going to share with you several actionable steps from professionals in the field to help you find joy and purpose in your current career, how to identify careers that align with your passions, and a few ways to get paid for doing the things that you love. Hey everyone, I'm Joey. Welcome to my channel and get ready to learn some useful tools for building the career of your dreams. My very first job was in a craft store in high school. I got hired on my 16th birthday, and as a creative person, I enjoyed acting, making art, playing music, so I thought that working at a craft store would be a perfect fit for me. Little did I know I would not be doing arts and crafts all day long like I had envisioned. What was I actually doing, and why did it matter? You can learn a lot from the job that you're currently in, even if it's just using it as an example of what you don't want to be doing. And if you don't want to be doing what you're doing, what do you want to be doing?
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
This brings me to the importance of job satisfaction. Loving what you do can drastically improve your mental and physical well-being, boost productivity, and help you thrive personally and professionally. When I'm excited about what I'm working on and I can see the impact that it's making, it's extremely fulfilling. Spending time on activities or work that you find fulfilling is one of the pillars of happiness. People find fulfillment in a myriad of different ways, and everybody's different. Some ways that people find fulfillment are personal development, like a project or a hobby, professional progress in the workplace, spending quality time with loved ones, donating time to charitable causes, and many others. Think about some times that you felt fulfillment. What were you doing that made you feel that way? When we focus on the positive feelings we have in these situations, it shifts our mindset into a mindset of gratitude for what we have, as opposed to a mindset of discontentment for what we don't have. This is also referred to as an abundance mindset versus a scarcity mindset. When you're stuck in a career that you don't enjoy, burnout, stress, and disengagement are real consequences. It affects not just your work, but your life outside of work as well. There's a lot that can be done with a paradigm shift to an abundance mindset, but there's also a breaking point when you can't take anymore and you don't want to leave that unaddressed. It's not easy to change a heavy workload, your boss's high expectations, or a pay rate that's lower than you're wanting. I want to invite you to explore what you would genuinely enjoy doing for work through some thought-provoking exercises. The first step is aligning your career with your values. And before you can do that, you need to understand what your values actually are. So take some time to reflect on what really matters to you, whether it's freedom, creativity, helping others, or personal growth. Most people don't know their core values off the top of their head. That's why it's important to spend intentional time figuring out what's important to you. I encourage you to write down 3 to 5 values that are most important to you. Type it out on your phone, write it down in a journal. It doesn't matter. The important thing is that you write it down somewhere to solidify your thought in a tangible way. Once you've determined what you value, there's actually a lot of job options out there that can provide you with what you're looking for. But let's start with the job that you currently have. Even if you're unemployed currently, you're still doing something throughout the day. Are your actions aligning with your values on a daily basis? When I completed this exercise, I realized that no, my actions are not lining up with my values on a daily basis. I value staying active, but I wasn't being active every day. I value trying new things, but I wasn't having any new experiences. I value hard work, but I realized a lot of my time was being spent scrolling social media or watching videos. Once I understood my core values, I ordered a habit tracker to analyze how I was actually spending my time. The habit tracker reminds me of the habits that I would like to be doing on a daily basis, and is also a form of accountability for seeing how well my actions are aligning with my values. So how do we align our values with our job? I think most, if not all of us, have worked jobs that were less than fulfilling. It kind of sucks the life out of you if you don't see an end in sight. Many times the idea of quitting, the light at the end of the tunnel, is the only form of hope that we have in these positions. But when your job reflects what you stand for, work becomes a lot more meaningful. For example, when I worked at that craft store, the only thing that kept me in a positive headspace were my interactions with customers and my coworkers. Probably my biggest life goal at that time was to spread positivity and joy. This came in the form of joking around with my coworkers and including them in my stories, having a friendly and excited demeanor with an eagerness to help when it came to interacting with customers, and producing high quality work efficiently to alleviate stress on my supervisors from their district managers. The individual interactions are what I looked forward to every time I walked into work 5 minutes late, and all the times that I walked in on time, but that was pretty rare. I took what I valued, which was interpersonal connections and brightening people's days through kindness and silliness, and I brought that into my workplace. By meshing and weaving my values into my job, I was excited and motivated to go to work. I learned to enjoy the process by reminding myself of my overall goal of promoting positivity as often as possible. It made work feel less like work and more like I was accomplishing a personal goal. Another way to mesh your values with your job is to gamify the process. This is the act of turning duties and responsibilities into a game. I've used this tactic as a salesman when I didn't want to do sales. I made it a game to see how many leads I could reach out to and to make the highest number of sales possible. In this way, I was competing not only against myself, but also other coworkers. This can increase your dopamine levels by introducing a reward into your day-to-day activities, even if that reward is just beating your previous personal best. Step 2 is finding purpose in your work. You should have a purpose beyond the paycheck. A paycheck is great, don't get me wrong, but you can get that with any job. A career is more fulfilling when you connect it to a greater purpose, whether that's contributing to a cause, helping others, or learning new things. Consider this. Think about how your work impacts others directly or indirectly, or your community on a broad scale. Try to find purpose in everyday tasks. For instance, if you're in a corporate job, maybe your role helps others achieve their goals or supports the company's larger mission. If you're working at a warehouse sorting boxes, you are helping thousands of people receive items that they're going to be excited to get delivered on a daily basis. If you work at a salon, you are building your customers' confidence with every haircut or new set of nails. Focus on the positive. How are you making a difference? Focus on that. I did a lot of landscaping for my grandfather growing up. Every weekend I was mowing his lawn, pulling weeds, trimming bushes, cutting extension cords, falling off the roof, all the normal things you can expect from a high school lawn care provider. I didn't love landscaping, but the purpose that I found in that work was actually just spending time with my grandfather. And he taught me a lot. He could reconnect the wiring of an extension cord when I cut through it, but he couldn't reattach his finger when he accidentally cut it off with a skill saw in front of me. Fun times. My monotonous landscaping and home projects could be extremely exciting occasionally, and sometimes you just gotta make work more entertaining. I don't suggest slicing off any of your appendages, but if you work a job that is not very mentally challenging, try multitasking by listening to audiobooks or podcasts. When I started running long distances for several hours at a time, a great way to pass the time more quickly and to feel like I was actually accomplishing more than one task at a time was listening to audiobooks. Now, you may not think you're a big reader, and I get it. Neither was I. It takes time and money to read a book, most physical books costing around $20 each. Now, an Audible membership is only $15 a month at its highest tier, and it comes with 2 free credits and a free credit every single month when you sign up. Each credit can be used to buy one audiobook that you get to keep forever, even if you decide to cancel your membership. It's free for the first 30 days, so you literally have nothing to lose. I've got a link to the Audible app in the description, so try listening to books and podcasts while you're doing monotonous tasks like commuting, exercising, or working on mundane tasks. Audible has audiobooks in hundreds of different genres, a variety of podcasts, and original content. I really enjoy not needing to spend time reading a book and instead listening to audiobooks while I'm doing other activities. It feels very efficient. Go ahead and try it out. Like I said, it's free for the first 30 days, so you literally have nothing to lose. Step 3 is leveraging your strengths and passions. What are you naturally good at? What comes relatively easy for you? When you're using your strengths at work, work feels less like work. Try identifying what you're best at and how to bring them into your career. If you're not sure what your strengths are, you can take strengths tests like the Gallup Strengths Finder to identify your key strengths. Everybody has strengths. Sometimes it takes a little bit of trying a lot of things in order to figure out what comes easy to you. Once you've identified what you're good at, it will be easier to determine what jobs are most likely a good fit for you. So how do you pull passion or motivation into your work? Here's a secret that many of you may not know. Passion is contagious. When you do what you love or find a way to bring your passions into your work, it can reignite your interest and make your job way more exciting. When I worked as a camp counselor one summer, a recurring phrase that they continuously taught us was that enthusiasm is contagious. That is an extremely true statement. When we would welcome the sleepy kids coming into camp with enthusiasm enthusiasm and excitement, they would immediately respond in the same way. Humans tend to mirror each other's behaviors and match each other's energy, so bringing what you're passionate or excited about into the workplace can have an amazingly positive outcome. The fourth step is building a growth mindset. Part of the growth mindset is embracing challenges and learning opportunities. Loving your career isn't just about the day-to-day. It's also about how you approach the challenges you're faced with. When you're faced with challenges, you can respond in one of two ways. One, you can get discouraged and stressed because you weren't expecting to face that challenge. Or two, you can be solution-oriented by asking yourself some questions like, what are some possible origins of this problem? In light of this new information, what is the best path forward for me in my current situation? When you see obstacles as opportunities to learn and grow, you're more likely to enjoy the journey. You can also focus on self-improvement by setting personal and professional development goals. Whether it's learning a new skill or taking on a challenging project, growth adds excitement and meaning to your career. I challenge you to set one personal development goal and one professional development goal for the next month. Don't forget to let me know how it goes in the comments below so we can chat about it. Step 5 is building meaningful relationships at work. Having positive relationships with coworkers and supervisors can make all the difference. A positive environment leads to a more fulfilling career. You can seek out relationships with people who inspire you, challenge you, or have the same values. That creates a sense of community and a shared purpose. You can also commiserate and troubleshoot with these people when things aren't going as planned. Having someone who you consider a mentor or accountability partner can increase your skill set and productivity faster than on your own. And the last step is cultivating a work-life balance. When work dominates every part of your life, it's hard to love your job. Balance is essential for recharging and staying motivated in the long run. Make sure to carve out time for yourself, your family, and your passions outside of work. This way, you can come back to work refreshed and ready to enjoy it more. As an entrepreneur, I've found it very helpful to do time blocking so that I have times when I'm working and also times when I'm not working. I used to think, oh, I don't want to be that rigid with my schedule, but it actually helps a lot with separating my work from my personal life and creating that work-life balance. So to recap, loving your career is not just a pipe dream. It's entirely possible if you align your values, purpose, strengths, and passions with your work. The most important thing to remember is that work is a big part of life, but it doesn't have to always feel like a drag. You have the power to make it something that you genuinely enjoy. If you're ready to love your career, start by taking an action on any of the tips that I shared in this video. Feel free to share it with friends if you found it helpful. If you want to learn ways to get paid for doing things that you enjoy, you might want to consider starting your own business and being your own boss. It's entirely different than being an employee, but in my opinion, entirely worth it. It's not for everyone, but if you'd like to explore that option, I've got plenty of other videos, tutorials, and business tips on my channel. If you enjoyed this video, I think you'll enjoy those as well. I've got lots of videos about entrepreneurship, starting a business, and why I will never work a 9-to-5 job ever again in my life. Let me know in the comments what's most helpful or what steps you plan to take first. And don't forget to like this video for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe for more similar content. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.